And it is through the Hizmet movement and education that we can eliminate the one major source of conflict, and that is ignorance. And as we all know, it's ignorance that compels young men and even women from many of the Islamic communities in the Middle East to our own communities here in the United States who lack the proper education and foundation, who commit these terrible terrorist acts, not only against their enemies, but also within their own communities. So that is the one key component behind my support of the Hizmet movement and every positive thing that it does.
His ideals of service, of education, of interfaith relations, of freedom, but especially education, I think, which brings about awareness for everyone. These were the ones that were incorporated into the Hizmet movement. Your desire for harmony, for freedom, for equality, for peace, all of these translate to service. You have to do something to prove to the world that you are indeed serious about peacemaking. And so this gets translated into service, service for one another, helping each other. It all took root as fast as it could, because then Fetullah Gülen was such a charismatic leader. And from then on, it spread like wildfire, from what I heard.
In my view, the Hizmet movement, I think, represents Islam at its very best. Of course, here in the United States, the issue of one's understanding of Islam is a critically important issue since the experience of 9/11 here in the United States. So what happened here in this country is that because of the experience of extremism, because of the experience of terrorism here in this nation, as we experience in other countries around the world as well, that the brand of Islam, if I could call it that Fetullah Gülen speaks of and that the Hizmet movement represents, is really, I would call, a moderate form of Islam. And by moderate, I think a form of Islam that is true to what the Prophet intended.
I think one of the most powerful things that he's done, and that I think it needs to continue to be put forward and restated, is the way in which he has repeatedly and forcefully spoken out against the violence that's been perpetuated supposedly in the name of Islam. And by saying very clearly, this is not the work of the Muslim faith. This is a work of terrorists. I think that there is sometimes too much emphasis put in the West on what are other Muslim leaders saying about these things. He's been unequivocal in saying this is not our way. Our way is one of peace. Our way is one of building bridges. Our way is one of lifting up those who are oppressed, those who don't have the same opportunities. And there's absolutely nothing in the violence that's been experienced